The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is probably one of the best games ever made. I played it so much as a kid that the cartridge actually started to warp. But every now and then I ask myself, can it still stand up today when I'm a cynical, hate-filled adult? Let's find out. The game starts out by showing us our hero's nightmare. No, this isn't scary at all. Link's a wuss. I'm sorry, what's with that face? Did Ganondorf just flash Link? After the nightmare, we get some dialogue from the world's wordiest tree. I'll try to interpret what he's saying. Oh, just kidding. Navi's worse than a bloodthirsty monster. Of all the directions you could go, why did you go between his legs? What is that kid doing? Dumbass. Yes, right from the start, Navi is an annoying little piece of crap. You spend so much time in this game listening to her whine and bitch about having to look or listen to something that you'll eventually just want to stab her right through her stupid little glowy body. Once Navi wakes him up, Link goes outside and meets his friend Saria. Wow, a bitch! Oh, you're talking about Navi. Sorry. Saria tells Link to go see the Great Deku Tree, but unfortunately the entrance is blocked by the village's best MC Hammer impersonator.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Well, Little Hammer won't let you pass unless you have a sword and shield, so we engage in the first of many fetch quests. The sword is hidden in a small room and is guarded by a giant boulder that has achieved perpetual motion. I'm not kidding. These Force children have achieved the physically impossible. The boulder will even start rolling again after it stops. Now for the shield, it is a tad bit more tricky. You have to gain rupees in this game, which is the game's currency. So Link gains money the way any child his age would. Finding it on the ground, doing yard work, and destroying his neighbor's property. When you have the sword and shield equipped, you can talk to Parachute Pants again, whose real name is apparently the Great Mido. He's still a total douche, but he lets you through because, well, you have a sword and can kill him now. And we finally get to see the Great Guardian of the Forest. Oh my god, it's Wilford Brimley! Since he's a tree, would that make him Willowford Brimley? I'm sorry, I had to say it. Well, it seems the Deku tree is what they made the TARDIS out of, because he's exponentially larger on the inside than he is on the outside. Overall, this dungeon serves as a tutorial for the later ones with various puzzles and enemies, although some of it raises a question. How did all this stuff get inside the Deku tree? Did he fall asleep with his mouth open or something? Sure, you can attribute the monsters inside to the curse, but how do you explain a spike-covered metal rod inside of him? On the way through the dungeon, Link meets Deku shrubs, which I guess would be the equivalent of stomach ulcers here. The shrubs seem to serve the monster at the bottom of the dungeon, which is the cause of the curse. Oh goody, I have to fight a monster inside of a tree's butt. Can this day get any better?
Hey, listen! Hey, listen! Hey, listen! Hey, listen!
Eventually you make it to the bottom of the dungeon and into the monster's lair, and are greeted by a... thing. I know it says it's an arachnid, but arachnids have 8 legs, and Goma has 5. Oh, and gee, I wonder where its weak spot is. Maybe it's its giant glowing eye. Dear Lord, he might as well just be wearing a sign that says, "Insert pain here." After a laughably short fight, Link gets transported outside, and the Deku tree tells him how he was cursed. It seems that the guy who flashed Link at the beginning of the game is actually the cause of all the evil in the world. Although you'd never guess that by looking at him. And then the Deku tree proceeds to tell you the history of the planet. But in his usual fashion, it takes too long and it's really boring. So here's the short version. One day, 3 goddesses got bored and made the world. And when they left, they spit out magic triangles called the Triforce. The end. You see, was that really that hard, getting to the point? Oh, and even though I killed the monster in his ass, it seems like he's still gonna die. So the whole dungeon thing was pointless. Way to endanger a child, you dick! The Deku tree gives Link a magic rock and tells him to go to Hyrule Castle before he dies. And on the way out, MC Hammer is back and accuses you of killing the Deku tree. You shouldn't be that much of a dick. Your legs are the perfect position to get kicked in the balls. Yeah, that's what I thought, you bow-legged bastard. Oh, and it looks like Saria has a gift for Link before he leaves. Oh goody, a potato with holes in it. Thanks. Couple of things irk me about this scene. 1, Saria's fairy appears before she does. 2, Saria's fairy is red, even though at the beginning of the game it was green. And 3, Link's reaction to the ocarina. I don't know, it just says something about your hero if he's dumbstruck by a potato flute. After a sorrowful goodbye, Link steps out of the forest for the first time and is... damn it, I forgot about this guy. This owl is basically Link's stalker, and pops up every so often to spew paragraph upon paragraph of dialogue at him. What's worse is that when he asks you if you want to hear the whole speech again, it defaults to the option to have him repeat it. So I always end up having to listen to him at least twice. I hate this game sometimes.